I turn to an article by The Telegraph, written by Camilla Tominey. Harry's claim that the media and the palace pitted the sisters-in-law against each other does not tell the whole story. Unsurprising, of course, Harry once again swallowing the narrative that is given to him by his wife, which is all about ensuring that he puts forward a view that she's the victim, she's the kind person, and that Catherine is the problem. Notwithstanding, of course, the evidence that exists previously that he got along very well with Catherine, that he thought highly of Catherine. Now, as a consequence of his indoctrination and his brainwashing by his wife, he has to portray Catherine as the problem. Let's dive into the article to see what it tells us about the interaction between a narcissist and an empath, and I will provide you with my observations and analysis also. Prince Harry gives various explanations as to why the Princess of Wales and the Duchess of Sussex did not get on from the get-go. Indeed, of course, as I pointed out in parts past him, he immediately contradicts himself because of the narrative that he's been fed by his wife, and that he's too dim to pick up on it and too indoctrinated to pick up on it, that on the one hand he says, oh, they didn't get on with one another from the beginning, and then I was concerned that they would be asking her and haranguing her for autographs because they were such big fans of Suits. From the awkward moment Kate grimaced over Harry's wife borrowing her lip gloss to rouse over hormones and bridesmaids' dresses, his autobiography Spare confirms reports of two very different women who never really hit it off. His revelation that Prince William and his sister-in-law were never expecting me to get into a relationship with someone like Harry's wife who had a very successful career, not so sure about the very successful, speaks to the culture clash between the royal wives. Harry has accused both the palace and the press of pitting Kate and Harry's wife against one another. While there may be some truth to that, what he fails to mention in his memoir is the internal rivalry that doomed the royal sisterhood from the start. And of course, I point out, where does competitiveness come from? Envy, jealousy, which are narcissistic traits. So both can have them. But the competitiveness originates as a consequence of the threat to control that is posed by Catherine having access to certain things, the popularity of Catherine, which rather than Harry's wife think, she's ahead of me, she's been in the family for longer than me, I will learn from her and make friends with her and harness her star power. Instead, her narcissism immediately recognizes it as a threat to control, resulting in there being the competitiveness and the internal rivalry. The article continues, as a self-made woman with her own successful TV career and website, The Tig, Harry's wife entered the royal fray, having already secured paid partnerships with the likes of Neiman Marcus in the United States. Aided by her close friend Jessica Mulrooney, currently shelved, a Canadian stylist, the glossy website proved the perfect platform for product placements, from clothes to makeup to home furnishings. Residual benefits. Naturally, when Harry's wife became engaged to Harry in November 2017, she would have expected, sense of entitlement, to receive even more preferential treatment from hand-picked suppliers than she'd already grown used to. Residual benefits. But as with the family hierarchy, there was a pecking order. And the problem for Harry's wife was that Kate always appeared to get first dibs on designers. Erdem Morhoglu was one of Harry's wife's absolute favourites. But even after Harry had put a ring on it, Kate, who was already a client, continued to get priority. Threat to control. The Montreal-born Bethnal Green-based designer had also just unveiled a Spring 2018 collection inspired by Elizabeth II, who made her first appearance at London Fashion Week that year. Suffice to say, the notion of her soon-to-be sister-in-law receiving preferential treatment did not, it is claimed, go down well with Harry's wife, especially as she wasn't even the Queen. This, of course, is a threat to control because Catherine is receiving preferential treatment, which Harry's wife believes she should receive. Harry's wife always pointedly insisted on calling the Princess of Wales Kate, even though the rest of the family referred to her as Catherine. See pet name, even though it is her actual name. The fact is that she chooses a name that nobody else uses is akin to the pet name. Watch the video of the same name. Harry reveals in Spare that when he first introduced Harry's wife to his brother Kate, to his brother, Kate remained in the garden, playing with the children, hardly the welcome they both wanted. Harry's wife loved the designer, having worn the Davina dress from his 2015 autumn-winter collection for a fashion item on NBC's Today programme in early 2016, before she met Harry. She later recycled the floaty frock for Christmas lunch with the late Queen in 2018. When she and Harry attended a wedding in Jamaica in March 2017, 8 months before their engagement, she wore another Erdem dress from the designer's pre-fall collection before it was even available to the public, suggesting she had built up a relationship with the designer. She also wore Erdem's red Sebla dress after the Invictus Games in Toronto in September 2017. Yet, while Kate was regularly stepping out in Erdem as a royal, Harry's wife did not wear the brand on an official engagement until Commonwealth Day in March 2019. Resentment also grew over Harry's wife's mistaken belief that Kate's parents, Michael and Carol Middleton, were cashing in on their royal connections to get special treatment, envy, threat to control. Wrongly convinced Kate's family had free use of the Windsor Suite, the VIP lounge at Heathrow, Harry's wife insisted, sense of entitlement, demanding that her mother Doria use it when travelling to the United Kingdom, allegedly citing the risk to her safety. In fact, no one can recall the Middletons using the Windsor Suite, although William and Kate do use it whenever they travel through the airport. Doria was spotted there en route to Windsor for Harry and Harry's wife's wedding in May 2018. Harry's wife was also said to be upset that Kate's sister Pippa Middleton initially declined to invite her to her wedding to James Matthews in May 2017, perhaps fearing she would be upstaged by Harry's girlfriend. Well, first of all, it's her wedding, she can invite who she wants. 2, she's only just joined the family, and it might not be someone that she doesn't really know that well. Furthermore, she would be right to fear being upstaged. Although, of course, Harry's wife thinks that she's more beautiful and resplendent than anybody else, she does engage in repeated instances of trying to steal other people's thunder. See parts passing. She later relented and invited Harry's wife to the evening reception to keep the peace. According to Harry, William and Kate then took exception to the couple moving the nameplates at the table before being accused of doing the same when the Sussexes got married. When it came to Harry and Harry's wife's own wedding a year later, it is fair to say the planning proved stressful for all involved. In Spare, Harry confirms an argument with Angela Kelly, the late Queen's closest aide, over Queen Mary's diamond bandeau tiara she borrowed for the big day. Argumentativeness, assertion of control. Although he denies saying, "What Harry's wife wants, Harry's wife gets," there is a sense that this was the unofficial slogan of the nuptials. Revision of history. Air freshener was indeed requested to improve the aroma of musty St. George's Chapel. Sense of entitlement. He also confirms a row between Kate and Harry's wife over bridesmaids' dresses, despite describing it as a sci-fi fantasy. Revision of history. The French couture dresses did not fit any of the bridesmaids properly, and contrary to Harry's suggestion that Kate was the only one who made a fuss, Harry's wife told staff at the time she had complained to the designer and that several of the mothers were angry. Revision of history. The row didn't actually happen at a fitting, but when Kate went round to Harry's wife's to discuss it. At this point, both women lived at Kensington Palace, Harry's wife at Nottingham Cottage and Kate at apartment 1A. Ironically, it was Harry's wife herself who acknowledged to the then Cambridge's staff that Kate had left in tears, in a bid for help to smooth it over. That's why the palace couldn't demand a retraction. Of course, we know that Harry's wife maintained that she was the one brought to tears, and that in actual fact, as uncovered by Tom Bower in Revenge, that she slammed the door in Kate's face and threw the flowers that had been brought round in the bin. Haughtiness, dismissiveness, assertion of control by withdrawal. Contrary to Harry's claim in Spare that the original story claimed Harry's wife had reduced Kate to tears about the bridesmaids' dresses, actually the more rather balanced 1,200-word feature read, "The Telegraph has spoken to 2 separate sources who claim Kate was left in tears following a bridesmaid's dress fitting for Princess Charlotte." Kate had only just given birth to Prince Louis and was feeling quite emotional, said one insider. It was the Sun who splashed the headline, "Harry's wife made Kate cry," the following day, with a piece written by Jack Royston, now Newsweek's chief royal correspondent and one of the Sussex's cheerleaders. It is true that Kate went around the next day with a bunch of flowers and a card to apologise, another bid to keep the peace, also demonstrating her empathic traits of the desire to heal and to fix. Those who were party to the fallout from the incident were left stunned when Harry's wife turned the tale on its head in their Oprah Winfrey interview, Revision of History, only for Harry to double down. Harry's wife may well have been sobbing when he returned home. See parts past him about her ability to cry whenever Harry's around. But as he concedes, her father Thomas Markle's heart attack had just thrown the wedding into chaos. Mr. Markle went on Good Morning Britain in June 2018 and revealed he had never actually met Harry, despite talking to him about Donald Trump and Brexit over the telephone. Ostracisation, assertion of control by position of withdrawal, shelving. Then his daughter Samantha Markle took to the airwaves publicly questioning Harry and Harry's wife's treatment of the gravely ill-forming lighting director. That was the moment the Sussex's staff felt that they lost control of the narrative. Harry insists that the bridesmaid's dress story was briefed by the palace, claiming Kate told Charles and Camilla about the altercation over dinner. But more negative headlines started appearing after the wedding precisely because the histrionic staff had grown well used to were now being witnessed by all and sundry. Expression of fury, argumentativeness, shouting, assertion of control, lack of accountability. The palace could no longer keep a lid on it. Even the Prince of Wales had witnessed the aftermath of Harry's wife's bridezilla behaviour, or more accurately, her narcissism. The Duchess is alleged to have spoken particularly harshly to a young member of the team in front of her colleagues after criticising a wedding plan she had drawn up, saying, "If there was literally anyone else I could ask to do this, I would be asking them instead of you." Invalidation, belittlement. When William heard of the incident, he took the woman aside and said, "I hope you're okay, you're doing a really good job," prompting her to burst into tears. Exhibition of emotional empathy. But the Cambridges, as they were then known, had their reservations from the start. Harry's insistence that their communications secretary Jason Knorf put out a statement in November 2016 claiming his girlfriend had been subject to a wave of abuse and harassment at the hands of the media created early unease between the brothers. Harry feared he would be dumped if he didn't protect the American actress, his own emotional empathy for his girlfriend, and of course many of you who have been ensnared by a narcissist will know in those early stages the fact that you believe that you found someone amazing and wonderful and you don't want to lose them. It's the same for Harry. He's been given the golden period and therefore believes everything associated with Harry's wife is true, genuine and amazing, and therefore, with his saviour complex, he is the white knight riding in to rescue her from perceived slights. William had already warned him to take as much time as you need to get to know this girl, a description that apparently offended Harry's wife. Well, of course it would do. It's suggesting that she's not good enough, and a threat to control, of course. The rashness of the statement rang alarm bells with William. Naturally it does, because as a normal, he sees through it. We'll continue with the Kate versus Harry's wife, the truth of it, in part 2, as there are further revelations. Join me there.